Hello. Today, I'd really like us to talk about something that bothers me a bit, and I feel that a lot of us are victims of it in many different ways. The power of saying no. Many of us find it so difficult to say no. And because we don't, we are caught up in making commitments we have no business to commit to, saying yes to things we have no business saying yes to. We push ourselves too hard. We drive ourselves too ragged. We do things that we regret even after we have done them. And we please others, but we displease ourselves. Look, nobody is going to look out for you like you. No one. There are many people that love you and care about you. But the one who has the primary responsibility to look out for you is you. And it's important for us to decide what is important to us, to decide where we want to go to decide what our short, our medium, and our long-term goals, and to decide the things that we really don't want to do, things we don't like doing. Yes, there are times we will do some things out of love. I understand that. I do that. I don't really like the big Lagos parties. Because to be honest, half of the time, the music is too loud. You're all choked up, not comfortably in many cases. And it's just not where you would prefer to be, at least for me. But there are days I know that I will sit at a function for 9 hours because of the person for whom I am there. If my best friend or my sister is getting married, or my close friend, or someone that I value so much, and that my being there is meaningful to them, is having something like that, or is their father's funeral, as in people showed up when it was my father or my mother's funeral too. I will go because of the love I have for that person. And I will sit there as my sacrifice of love. But it's not something that I probably enjoy. Now, that's only one example. But think about how many times we actually need to say no. You think of your life. Think of the many scenarios where you could say no. Think of commitments that did not work for you, were not convenient for you, and did more harm to you than good. But you had to say no. Girls say yes to men that they really want to say no to. Why? Men say yes to superiors for what they know they need to say no. I don't know, there are many scenarios that we should have the opportunity to say no, including to our children. Because our inability to say no results in indulgences in the lives of our children and in the lives of people around us and in our world. It's not one of the easiest things to do, but it's one of the things we must train ourselves to do. We have to consider the odds or consider the facts of each situation and decide if it's important, if it's essential, if it's critical, if it's worthy or not. We have to individually determine what our own yardsticks will be. Many women, especially us women, do not have savings because we don't know how to say no to Ashwebi. We really can't afford it some of the times. But we say yes anyway because we think that's what will please the person that has asked us. You know, my friend and I sat down one day and we said, you know what? I don't really like the Ashwebis. I don't mind the Pele and the Gele. But I don't really like the laces or the main garment most of the time. Why? Sometimes it's not what you think you can wear thereafter. Sometimes it's what you wear that will be itchy on your skin and you really don't want it. Sometimes you can't afford it. Sometimes you already have like 2, 3, 4 colors of that same color. But just to please the person, we still go ahead and buy what we don't need. And therefore, we deprive ourselves of the chance to apply our resources to the things that are most important for us or to build wealth. There's nothing wrong in saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I already have this color. Oh, I will buy the head tie and the other piece and the second piece, but I cannot buy the main garment. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a habit that we must learn how to build. Or say, oh, I never buy the main garment, I can buy the other one, or none of it. As it works out for you. I believe that every invitation is for you, the person, not for the garment. And if I show up in the best that I can afford, and I'm able to do the best I can as a gift or a token to the person, I have fulfilled my obligation of being there for the person. I'm only using this as an example. There are myriads of examples of situations where we have to learn to say no. You must be able to say no to the boss that wants to sleep with you at work, or the lecturer that wants to sleep with a female student. You must have the courage to say no and stand up for yourself. Now, none of what I'm saying will always be easy to do, but we must have a place where we start. You must decide. You know, I look at our young daughters and this habit that we've handed over to them. And I wonder, looking at whatever their income is at this stage of life, and the frequency with which they have to invest in some of these habits, because we haven't taught them how to be comfortable to say no. We're setting people up for trouble in the future. If someone asks you to employ a member of your family into your business, and you can see from speaking to the person that the person is not the qualified person for the role that you need someone for, you must be able to say, oh, I'm so sorry, but unfortunately, it's not a fit for what I need. I can help you to see if I can find him some other opportunity somewhere, but I can't take him into my business. sometimes they'll be upset with you about that, but it will save you a lot of trouble. Trust me. I can remember one experience I had, very painful one. So many years ago, I had my first cousin from my mother is Cameroonian, so my first cousin from my Cameroonian side, who had grown up in our house like my brother. And he had finished school and all that, and he came to work in my company. And one sad day, he was so rude to me in the factory. It was unbelievable. And all my workers were there. So I left from the factory and went straight to my parents' house. And I went to my mom because she's her nephew. And I said to her, "Mommy, I've come to tell you to please do not beg me to take this guy back. This is what happened. I have fired him. And please, I am begging you, do not beg me to take him back because I know that's what you will do."